"Look, I will never marry you," he said point blank. "So I guess you should start looking for someone else." At first, like a fool, I thought he was joking. But as the moment stretched out like poisoned mozzarella, the look on his face told me he was serious. I probably don't even have to tell you what happened next. How I asked him why. And he told me he just wasn't attracted to me anymore. How I reminded him that today was our 10th anniversary, that he'd taken me ring shopping last week. I mean, you can't just fall out of love with someone like that, can you? Admit you weren't enough for him. Leave you shocked and bewildered and broken and bloody? Because when it happened to me, I literally felt my heart freeze in my chest. All the blood drained from my face as my heart screamed, "No!" And I opened my mouth to try and fix it. But that's when it happened. The little blonde waitress sashayed over to get the check. And okay, I guess she was pretty, but nothing special, though not like a supermodel or anything. But as she leaned over to grab the credit card, that's when I saw it. His eyes dragged themselves from my face, stuck themselves to her face, her breasts, her waist, and crawled all over her, like his eyes were video cameras making movies of her body. And you know what? In our 10 years together, he'd never once looked at me like that. And that's when the moment just exploded like a nail bomb in the center of my heart, because she looked at my boyfriend with her professional dimples dancing and said, "Did you and your mother enjoy your dinner?" I felt a hot blush of shame and rage stain my cheeks, and I stood up in a clumsy rush, desperate to escape, run, just get away. But as I jerked my feet, I saw the three of us reflected in the restaurant wall mirrors, and it was like a scene from a movie. There was my boyfriend, there was the heroine, the young, pretty blonde girl, and then there was me, the overweight, graying, 49-year-old mother of 3. And I saw how I didn't belong in that movie scene. I saw how perfect they looked together and how invisible I really was. That night I huddled alone in the cold spare bedroom of our house. All I could think of was the look on Damien's face when he saw her, the desire shining in his eyes, the way he'd never once looked at me like that. And I wondered what was wrong with me. How a man could have a good, loyal, wonderful woman waiting for him at home. A woman who loved him. A woman who'd do anything for him, and that still wasn't enough. Then I thought of the stack of secret magazines in his desk. Magazines he didn't know I knew about. Magazines showing women who were half my age and half my size. And finally, I thought of the worst broken promise of all the times he'd sworn I was the one for him, that he couldn't wait to marry me. Just as soon as the timing's right, he'd say, kissing me and smiling and lying right into my eyes. I held myself and cried and muffled it in the pillow so I wouldn't wake my daughters. And by the time morning came, I had made a decision. As soon as it was light out, I got out of bed, took off my robe, and in the harsh light of early morning, I stared at my naked body closely in the full-length mirror. So what did I see? Well, I saw a 49-year-old woman with wiry grayish-brown hair and a dumpy middle-aged body. I mean, I wasn't ugly, but I knew I'd never again be thought of as hot. And that as an over 40 woman, my worth as a lover, a girlfriend, a woman, was diminishing with every passing moment. And I knew I had a choice to make. Choice 1. I could accept that this was just the way the world was, that growing older means growing powerless, undesirable, invisible. I could accept that younger, prettier women had all the power and just let my guy go and just hope that the next guy I met would somehow forgive me for getting older. Or I could decide to be smart. I could choose to find out the secret truth of a man's heart, what it really takes to stick a man's love and devotion 100% onto me like wallpaper onto a wall. To use the emotional makeup of a man's brain to draw him away from other women and Help him see the beautiful, loving, wonderful woman standing right in front of him. And I could help my guy shed the juvenile player behavior and grow into a strong, mature, loving man. The man, not the boy that he was always meant to be. I think you can see it really wasn't a choice at all, was it? So, determined and excited, I began on my mission. I pored over relationship advice and read articles and studied books and websites and videos like a nerd studying for the biggest exam of her life. And right away, I ran face first into a massive brick wall. All I could find was advice on how to feel shame and panic about my age. That 2 wrinkles and a stretch mark, and you're marked down like yesterday's bread. That once you hit your 30s, never mind your 40s, and God forbid you ever turn 50, you're no longer desirable, no longer beautiful, no longer powerful in any way at all. Was this really the message I wanted to believe? The message I wanted my daughters believing? My heart told me there simply must be more to love than looks. And that's when something happened that transformed my love life forever. Because that very same day, I took my 8-year-old and her friends to the local theme park for a birthday party. And as we were waiting in line for the roller coaster, I had a weird and random thought. Why the heck do people go to theme parks in the first place? Well, because of the adrenaline rush, right? That rush that takes you over and makes you tingle and scream and giggle and shriek. That rush that fills you with a surge of hormones and chemicals so strong that it's like a high. That rush that pastes a huge smile on your face. That rush that makes you feel silly and electric and alive and happy and connected. That rush that's almost like being in love. And I wished there was some way I could put that love drug feeling into a pill and just give it to my man. And that's when it happened. The moment that led to me having an incredible power over men. A power that transformed my love life forever. A power that I want to give to you too. Because it turns out I was onto something with that love drug idea. Turns out that science has recently discovered something truly shocking. Something that prickled all the hairs on the nape of my neck when I discovered it. Something that is going to change your life forever, just like it did for me and hundreds of other women around the world. Turns out there is an actual commitment chemical in the male mind. A commitment chemical that's stronger than any roller coaster, any alcohol, or any addiction. A commitment chemical that physically shuts down the male brain's ability to feel dislike or think negative thoughts. A chemical that biologically forces any man who feels it to forget his boredom, his commitment issues, or his lack of interest, and literally become chemically addicted to you so intensely that he simply can't resist. How can I be so sure? Simple. Because this time, I didn't mess around with relationship articles. I went straight to the science and squeezed the secret proven truths from the brain of the experts like a madwoman squeezing sweet juice from 1,000 oranges. I tracked down neurobiologists and human behavior experts and quizzed them mercilessly. I forced them to drag out brain scans and listened agog as they told me about the existence of actual love chemicals inside the human brain and how to specifically trigger these chemicals to your advantage. I talked to addiction counselors and physiology experts who told me about the chemical addictions taking place in his brain when he falls in love with you, and I watched in awe as they reverse-engineered the process of addiction and emotional love in the brain and linked it to a certain set of chemicals anyone can trigger in the human brain under the right circumstances. I interviewed neurologists, relationship scientists, and sex therapists, and I listened bug-eyed as they revealed how to use the secret commitment language of men to trigger a powerful overflow of love and attraction emotions inside a man's mind. I met a relationship counselor who told me about emotional sterility and how it can happen to even the best men, and how to use something called impulse conditioning to stop it from ever happening with your man. I spoke to my journalist friends and bribed them with alcohol until they revealed exactly how the most hated celebrities of all still get everyone to love them by using secret scripts that make the paparazzi like them, while other genuinely nice celebrities were trash-talked. I sneaked into university lectures and talked to professors in evolutionary biochemistry, and my heart pounded as they told me that this devastatingly powerful chemical is nature's way of forcing even the most unlikely couples to fall in love. And then, my mind spinning like a top while the creativity and inspiration boiled in my brain, I worked and slaved and drank coffee and edited and created and worked some more, and slowly, agonizingly, I compacted everything down to 30 brilliant, no-fail, foolproof scripts and methods that would biologically force even my uninterested, commitment-phobic man to become chemically addicted to me so intensely that no other woman could compare. And when I was done, I did something I'm actually kind of ashamed of. I picked up my cell phone and tested out my discoveries by using my ex Damien as a guinea pig. I texted out the monogamy junkie script, a clever little phrase I'd created that gets a man to subconsciously convince himself that you are his ultimate dream girl and sweetheart. And, my palms sweating, then I pressed send. And when I checked my phone half an hour later, I saw not one, not two, but 4 missed calls from Damien. First message. Gloria, it's Damien. Listen, can you call me when you get this? Next message. Gloria, it's Damien again. I'm not messing around. Call me. Third message. Okay, this is for real. Can I come and see you? I want to talk face to face. The final message was short and to the point. I'm coming round. If you're not there, I'll wait. Then, bam, bam, bam! My heart fluttering, I knew exactly who was hammering on my door. And I rushed over, thinking I'd open the door and say something light and casual. But I never got a chance, because his mouth was on mine. His arms were around me. My heart was beating through my chest, and one thing led to another, and we ended up making crazy, tender, shockingly emotional love right there on the floor of my hallway. We couldn't even make it to the bedroom. The next morning, lying in bed with his arms wrapped around me, I thought about how once he's had sex with you, so many men's feelings can change in a heartbeat. So, over breakfast, I casually slipped my endless attraction phrase into the conversation, a little trick I got from a neuroscientist that's designed to spark a man's emotions into powerful shocks and spikes of addictive adrenaline and desire. So what happened next? Well, at first, absolutely nothing. But then, something truly outrageous happened. The next evening, Damien asked me to dinner, and when I got out of the car, fear knotted in the pit of my stomach because we were back at that restaurant again. Damien, no, I begged, as he tugged me towards the door. It's okay, Gloria, just trust me, he shouted over his shoulder. So I walked hesitantly in after him. Dinner was fine, I guess, but it was afterwards that the really crazy thing happened. Because as I slurped down the last mouthful of dessert, I felt something hard clinking on my back teeth. Oh no, I thought, fishing frantically in my mouth. I've chipped a tooth. But it wasn't a tooth. Can you guess what it was? It was the most beautiful, elegant, gorgeous diamond ring I've ever seen in my life. Shocked, I looked up at Damien and saw his face radiant and beaming with a happiness and nervousness like I'd never seen before. Gloria, he whispered, reaching across the table. I was stupid before, so stupid. The last few days have made me realize that I don't want to go through a single day, a single second without you by my side. So if you can find it in your heart to forgive me, I want to spend the rest of my life making you the happiest woman who ever walked the face of the earth. Please say yes. I paused, just to really savor the moment. And then, I said yes, and we were kissing and crying and wiping each other's tears away. I saw her wiggling over to our table, smiling, just begging to be noticed. But this time, things were different. Because now my man was too busy staring into my eyes, kissing my lips, and whispering how much he loved me, wanted me, needed me, to even notice her at all. The next day, my best friend Kara dropped round, and her eyes zoomed onto my ring like magnets. She couldn't believe her eyes. She insisted I tell her exactly how I turned the breakup into an engagement. So, blushing, I shyly showed her my notes. And she ran off and used them behind my back. See, Kara had a problem. She always had men avoiding her after the first date. She would spend hours obsessively checking her phone, just hoping a guy would want to see her again. But nobody ever did. She ended up using my emotional force field technique on her very next date, and he told her even before the first drink was down his throat that he found her incredibly intelligent, beautiful, and irresistible. And now, for the first time in 2 years, she is in a happy, loving, committed long-term relationship with him. A relationship where, right from the start, he chased after her. The way it should be. The following week, I got a call from my older sister. She was in tears because her husband would never help around the house, be romantic at all, or spend a single moment paying attention to her. And as a result, she constantly felt unwanted, unattractive, and unloved in her marriage. I just gave her my notes with a wink. She used my hidden fantasy technique on her husband while he was slumped in front of the television. She said his face lit up like a kid in a candy store, and later that same night, he gave her a huge bunch of flowers and asked if he could take her away to the mountains for an adults-only weekend. "You know, just you and me," he said excitedly, his eyes glowing. And that's when everything just exploded. I started getting pestered night and day with women who'd heard about my manual on the grapevine and were begging for a chance to use it on their dates, boyfriends, husbands, and that cute guy at the gym they'd always been too scared to talk to before. Even totally random women at the grocery store approached me and blasted me with questions like a fireman's hose in my face. And without fail, I handed over my notes and listened in awe to their ecstatic phone calls just hours or days later, telling me how easy it was to get a man to completely open his heart and beg for passionate, loving monogamy using any one of these 30 simple methods. So I started calling my little manual, "Make Him a Monogamy Junkie," because that's exactly what happens when you use it in your life, on your man. Simply by using these incredibly simple and innocent scripts on him, you spark an overwhelming overflow of this all-powerful commitment chemical in his brain to become the one woman who rouses him to be ecstatically monogamous for the rest of his life. The one woman who inspires him to become the strong, committed man he was always meant to be. The one woman he just can't stay away from. Okay, Gloria, enough foreplay. I know you've discovered a way to make any man choose to commit forever by triggering that commitment chemical you keep blabbing about. But how do I actually do it? Well, it's so easy once you know how. Because the simple truth is, it's brain chemistry. Proven, no-fail, documented science. The addictive science of love and desire. Science that gives you the power over his feelings and his biological need to move the relationship forward. Simply by using 30 tested and proven scripts that slide into his mind and trigger an immediate and ruthlessly addictive surge of the most powerful love chemical known to humankind, norepinephrine. Brain scans show us that norepinephrine is literally the strongest love chemical of all. That's why scientists and biologists call it the commitment chemical, because that's what it does. It chemically compels a man to excitedly choose to commit to passionate monogamy with you forever. In fact, there are now peer-reviewed clinical studies proving that this chemical literally biologically shuts down his brain's ability to think negative thoughts about you, or even feel indifference, uncertainty, or dislike towards you. Which means, just by using any one of these 30 innocent tricks or techniques on him, you can literally make a man become biologically unable to see any flaws in you at all. And he will see you as the only woman who can make him want to commit. The only woman who can make him chemically addicted to the sight of your beautiful face, the softness of your skin, and the sweetness of your presence in his life, in his arms and in his heart. And this commitment chemical will work for you, no matter how big of a player he is, no matter if he's already broken up with you and is seeing someone else, no matter if you feel completely overlooked and even invisible to him, no matter if he's just not attracted to you right now, no matter if he's a total player and you just can't compete with the other women in his life, no matter if you just feel like men are too confusing and you don't know what to do or say to make him love you, no matter if he just sees you as a friend, no matter if he only sees you as a booty call, no matter if he's fallen out of love and you think everything's ruined, no matter if he's already told you to your face that he doesn't want you, and no matter if you think you've tried everything. So here's just a tiny sample of the amazing secrets you're going to discover and the incredible results you're going to see exploding in your life when you choose to invest in the devastating power of Make Him a Monogamy Junkie today. First, are you involved with a commitment-phobic man who won't move the relationship forward but won't let you go? Here's the Monogamy Junkie script. Just whisper these simple words in his ear and watch as he subconsciously convinces himself that you are his ultimate dream girl. In fact, the moment you use this script on him, either by phone, in person, via email, or via text, he will instinctively begin to fantasize about sliding a ring on your finger, waking up next to your beautiful face every morning for the rest of his life, and making you his forever. Even if he's terrified of commitment, when you use this phrase, he will start to believe that you are the most precious gift of his life. Next, are you afraid that he's losing interest in you, or that he just didn't want you that badly to begin with? Here's the emotional force field technique, the art of talking to a man in a special, innocent way that will penetrate past his logical brain to his emotional core, unconsciously conditioning him to experience such raging surges of attraction and desire for you that he will embarrassingly crave your love in the same way a fat kid craves candy. Do you know about the endless attraction phrase? This sparks a man's emotions into powerful shocks and spikes of adrenaline, and he'll bellow from the rooftops that you're his dream girl, true love and soulmate, and he'll rack his brain excruciatingly just to cook up new ways to convince you to be his one and only forever. Are you stuck with a man who just doesn't seem that passionate anymore? I'll show you how to use the hidden fantasy. Just use this and watch as he becomes so stuck on you that he can't even think straight. His heart will pound like a church bell and his mouth will go dry with excitement at the mere thought of you, and the moment you use it, his face will light up with a deep-seated desire to cherish you, spoil you, and treat you like an absolute princess, or maybe his queen. Next, do you feel like his attraction for you is dying? Here's the rev and kill kiss that will have him feeling that you are the most devilishly charming, smart, and irresistibly sexy woman he's ever met in his life. This is the fastest and most fun way to have a man go from being completely uninterested to being so obsessively addicted to you that he won't be able to stop himself from devoting himself, heart, body, and soul to making you his. Because when it comes to other women, he'll see you as the one woman who broke the scale. Now, are you with a cold, robotic man whose blood is made of ice water and he just doesn't show his emotions? Try fire and ice. The sneaky superpower technique that will instantly transform the most emotionless cyborg of a man into a shamelessly addicted, tender lover who is so open, unconditionally affectionate, and eager that you almost can't believe it's the same man. Next, do you want to know exactly how he really feels about you? Try the emotional X-ray, the easiest, simplest, and most fun way to read a man's mind, without any awkward questions or weird conversations at all. This will allow you to see into the innermost private core of a man's mind, just like you've literally peeled off the top of his head and can look directly into the darkest, deepest part of his brain. Next, would you like to know what it's like to have a man beg you to commit to him forever? Try the future wife script, an ingenious little phrase that psychologically trains him to see you as the only woman he could ever marry. How? By unleashing an irresistibly powerful brew of ruthlessly effective and addictive commitment chemicals inside his brain, biologically forcing him to flush out even the stubbornest vestiges of commitment phobia and experience an uncontrollable surge of ecstatic determination to make you his forever, even if right now he swears he'll never commit. Heck, and let's not even talk about the honesty conditioning script that allows you to psychologically condition him to always tell you the truth and literally bare his heart and soul to you like a patient under the knife for open-heart surgery. Hint: understanding a man's deepest thoughts in this simple way makes the difference between a man losing interest and shutting you out of his heart forever, and having him eagerly fantasize about sliding a ring on your finger, seeing you in your white dress, and meeting you at the altar to make you his true love forever. Now, did you make a huge mistake with him and you're frightened he'll leave you over it? Here's the forgive and forget phrase that will powerfully rub out the part of his brain that holds negative memories, just like a gigantic pencil eraser rubbing out a spelling mistake. This will have even the most offended and outraged man forgiving you for everything, crawling back on his hands and knees and begging you for a second chance with his heart in his mouth. Are you tired of having that argument with him? Here's the sudden superpower script that gives you the ability to instantly convert even the ugliest argument, disagreement, or fight into an overwhelming chemical compulsion deep within his brain to agree with your point of view, shower you with sweet apologies, and slave his guts out to put a huge, goofy smile on your face in whatever way necessary. Next, are you with a man who sees you as just a friend, or just a booty call? Use my desire amplifier on him and watch as in the next few days he's slowly but completely overcome by a crazy urgency to upgrade your relationship. And don't be surprised when he does a complete 180 and begs you for a chance to make you his exclusive girlfriend, fiancé, or even his wife. And honestly, that's not even half of what you'll learn in my program. I could babble on for another 3 hours about all the incredible tricks and techniques you'll get that will make that one special man open his eyes, drop to his knees, and beg you to be his until the end of time. So let me ask you, how excited are you to get this? To have the power to create that undying need to commit to you and only you in the heart of any man you choose. To know that you can fix any relationship problem, no matter how unsolvable or impossible it seems right now, just by whispering a few incredibly simple words in his ear. Since you're still here, that shows me your answer is yes. So, what's the price? Well, I have a quick story to tell you that will answer this question perfectly. See, when I asked my hundreds of ecstatic clients for their feedback, everyone told me I should price the program at $297 because the type of devotion and lifelong love it helps you create in a man's heart is so sweet and precious that it is almost literally priceless. I mean, could you put a price on true love? So that's what I did. But then, I got viciously stabbed right in the center of my heart. By who, you ask? Well, by my own conscience. See, I know the program is worth any amount of money, because I know how incredibly well it works. But I also knew that a price of $297 would mean that quite a few women just couldn't afford it. And so I found myself stuck in a total dilemma. On one hand, I have 2 mouths to feed, plus you wouldn't believe how many pairs of jeans 2 teenage girls need. But on the other hand, I know what it's like to be trapped in a life or a relationship where the man you want just doesn't want to move things forward. So after a vicious, brutal, and agonizing internal conflict, I made my decision, which means you will not be paying $297 for Make Him a Monogamy Junkie today. Not $197. Not even $107. Just for taking the time to watch with me today, I'm going to give you the entire thing for a one-time only, massively discounted price of just $97, saving you an instant $200 off. Plus, if you solemnly swear to click the button right now, I'll also knock off another 50%, and you can have the entire program for a one-time, crazily discounted price of just $47. But you have to act right now. My marketing guy and I have a little bet going on. If I lose, you lose too. He keeps telling me that $47 is too cheap, that people aren't going to believe that you can get such incredible results for way less money than you'd pay for a few bottles of wine. And if he's right, then I'll have to raise the price to something more realistic, which means if you don't act now, before this deal runs out, then I'm sorry, but the doors will be closed forever. Plus, I've got something else up my sleeve for you that will make this decision almost stupidly easy for you. If you act now, I'm also going to give you my ironclad Make Him Beg to Be Your Guy Forever, or you pay nothing guarantee. Here's how it works. Just grab your copy now. Follow the amazingly simple step-by-step instructions and proven action steps. Play around with these 30 incredible tricks and techniques in your life. See for yourself how incredibly easy and fun getting his heart forever can be once you have this amazing power to play with. And if you don't think the program is worth at least 10 times what you're paying today, just contact my customer service at support@monogamyjunkie.com anytime in the next 60 days, and you'll get a complete, courteous, and quick refund of every last cent. Why am I being so generous? Because I want this for you. I want you to experience the delightful power of getting a man's true, undying love and devotion for yourself. And if I have to take all the financial risk myself, just so you're free to experience this incredible power risk-free, I'll do it and smile. Therefore, you risk absolutely nothing and are completely safe at all times in trying out the program today. Please go ahead and click the Add to Cart button right now, and let me give you the proven and tested tools that will change everything for you starting tonight. Plus, if you're still not sure, then this will take away every last excuse you have to not give this a try right now. Because I've got 3 very special gifts for you just for taking action right now. First, you're getting the professional digital audio version of this program worth $97 absolutely free, which makes the learning process incredibly easy for you because you can listen on your phone, iPod, car, or tablet and have access to everything you need right away, any place you happen to be. Plus, I also want to give you my exclusive hour-long behind-the-scenes conversation with internationally renowned dating expert Carlos Cavallo. Listen in as Carlos hands over step by step the deep advanced material on exactly how to literally make any guy of your choice drop to his knees and beg to be with you forever. Even if he's a wounded bear, has serious baggage, has dozens of other options, or is just a dyed-in-the-wool player. Carlos normally charges $247 per hour for his advice on commitment. But today, I got him to come clean and reveal his 10 most sought-after secrets on exactly what to do and say to psychologically force the most reluctant, uninterested, terrified of commitment guy of them all to open his heart and fall for you hard. And honestly tell you, he wants nothing more than to spend his life with you. You'll discover exactly how to get a guy to upgrade your relationship status in the shortest possible amount of time without having to ask him. What to say when the relationship has stalled and is just not moving forwards anymore. What to do if you slept with him too soon. How to recover if you made a stupid mistake with him. The 10 things all guys will do when he's really feeling the love for you. This will help you know exactly how he truly feels about you, no matter what he's saying. Precisely what to say when he freaks out at the thought of marriage, moving in together, or going exclusive. Step-by-step advice on how to treat a guy who's been burned in a marriage or relationship that went sour and is now terrified of loving fully again. The top 5 ugliest mistakes women make that destroy any chance of lifelong love with a man. Hint, 9 out of 10 women make these mistakes and wrongly believe they're helping him commit when they make them. And so much more. Like I mentioned, Carlos's time is valued at $247 per hour. But today, he's all yours free. And you won't find this interview anywhere else, as it is exclusive to Make Him a Monogamy Junkie, which means if you don't act now, you could miss out forever on getting your copy. Your third gift is something kinda controversial. It's 99 dirty talk scripts with a renowned sexpert and dirty talk relationship coach. You'll get 99 proven and tested done-for-you dirty talk scripts that allow any woman who uses them to simply whisper a word or send a simple text message and tease him, tantalize him, and deliciously torture him with vivid, amazing words that bring images of you flashing into his head like a 90-foot movie screen that only he can see. Plus, the best part? This is dirty talk taken to a whole new level of class, beauty, and tenderness. You won't need to say anything that makes you feel uncomfortable, act like a slut, or feel like some yucky porn star. The truth is, real dirty talk, done properly, creates a level of intimacy, closeness, and tenderness in your relationship that will smash through the brick wall of disconnection and boredom that grows over time and spark an intensity of true love and lifelong, ever-deepening connection that you never even thought was possible with a man. Dollar value, $47. Today, yours free. So let's add this all up so you know exactly how much you're saving. First, you're getting the complete Make Him a Monogamy Junkie program for just $47, and you already know it's worth at least $297. Then you're also getting the audio version worth $97, the advanced conversation with Carlos Cavallo worth $247, and 99 dirty talk scripts worth $47. Add it up, and that comes to a grand total of $688. But today, by acting now and getting your special discount, you're getting instant access to everything for just one measly payment of only $47, saving you a massive $641. And all you have to do to get your hands on this incredible deal, risk-free, click the big Add to Cart button below right now. Go through the program. Play around with the 30 shockingly powerful and incredibly easy-to-use tricks, tips, and techniques I've got lined up for you. Feel the surge of confidence and joy and power of having a man need you to be his until the end of time. Watch him transform before your eyes into the incredible, loving, devoted man who begs you to make his life complete. So now, that's enough chit-chat. It's time to act. Because in this moment, you're standing in a doorway, staring at a door that not 1 in 10,000 women can open. And you know that on the other side of that door is everything you have ever wanted from a man. And in this second, right now, for the first time in your life, you are holding the key to this door. Right there, clutched in the palm of your hand. So what will you do? Because the way I see it, you have just two choices. Choice 1. Drop the key. Turn your back on the door. Leave this page and go back to your normal life. A life where love is hard, where men don't make sense. A life where you feel ignored, where you fall in love with the wrong guy and wind up sobbing. The life where you try not to look back at this moment right now and try not to torture yourself with thoughts of how everything could have been so different if you just made one decision differently. I don't think you want to go back down this road. I think you've been there before, and you know exactly where it leads. Heartbreak, heartache, confusion, loss. And that's why I strongly encourage you to take the second choice. Turn the key, put it in the lock, and turn it. Feel the tumblers click. See the door swing open. Take my hand right now and step over the threshold with me. Claim the place in my course that I've reserved especially for you. Experience what it's like to have a man literally beg you to be his. Hear the vulnerability and total openness vibrating in his voice when he asks you to be his. Learn how to get everything you've ever wanted from a man by using 30 incredibly simple, tested, and proven tricks and techniques. With my 60-day guarantee, you risk nothing. And with this special discount, you're getting 3/4 off. There really is no way you can lose if you act right now. So this is it. The video is now ending. Before I go, here's a final thought. I want you to know that every woman knows the heartbreak not getting enough from a man. Every woman has felt embarrassed, ashamed, scared by her emotional needs in a relationship. And the worst thing you can do in this situation is to be too proud to ask for help. I'm not trying to get heavy here, but I want you to know that the advice you get from your friends, magazines, TV, books, and websites, it's just not enough. Following that advice almost ruined everything for me, and I don't want that for you. So if you want more from love, and I know you do, then I beg you, listen to your heart today. Click the button now. You and I are in this together. I've been there myself. I've mapped out every step ahead of time for you, so there is nothing to fear and no way you can lose. I've safety guarded everything for you to make sure your investment today is 100% risk-free no matter what. And all you have to do is take a single step forward, one little step, and you cross over with me into a whole new world. A world where men in love are effortless, where the affection and connection and undying love you crave is easy, where his heart is yours for as long as you want it. So now it's up to you. The choice is yours, which means this is your last chance. Just click the button right now. Claim your discounted enrollment fee. Join the hundreds of other women who've already used this program to transform everything forever. Go ahead and click the button to order right now.